in my estimation, to answer the question directly, what is money? It's the symbolic representation of life force exchanged.
Mm,
And so when I mean, just I'll come back to your question, but like when we think about like Federal Reserve and fractional reserve banking, whatever it might be, like it's not really the value of the dollar that's being diluted; it's the value of your life force
mm,
that's being diluted. That's what's
right.
becoming less valuable as a result of that. That
Yes.
to me is the ultimate distortion. And when it comes to many of the, I guess, the programs and the corruptions around money, again, I on some level I come back to religion. I don't believe money is the root of all evil. I don't even believe the love of money is the root of all evil. And I
Mm,
think that is one key program that keeps many people in a state of poverty consciousness and scarcity
mm,
consciousness. They're constantly unconsciously pushing it away because they believe if they're seen to have it, or they're seen to be doing well with it,
mm-hmm,
then they're going to be disapproved of by the tribe, so to speak.
mm,
And I see this being iterated, particularly through Hollywood programming. We see many many of the main characters, the wealthy, rich, successful characters, often are the corrupt ones, the evil ones.
mm-hmm.
And Robin Hood syndrome, the martyr is always the hero. The person who's not interested in the material world. And so I think that has done a great deal in terms of distorting the way that we perceive money. But the way I see it, and again, leaning on Rand, it's like it's ultimately the representation of how much value you have on one's life and on,
Mm,
on, on one's mind and on
mm,
one's productive ability.
mm,
My ability to produce is directly correlated to the money that I earn. And so money is the incentivization for creative effort,
mm.
for innovation, um, for life to continue to evolve and to grow. And looking at it from that perspective, I'm going to use the extreme just to make the point, but it could be argued that money is the root of all good.
Mm. Yeah. 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 I mean, the world would be very less civilized without it, basically, right? It's a very important tool, like as essential as language or
It's
something,
it's our it's our means of survival. It's our
Yes.
means of coming back to rational self-interest. It literally
Yes.
is our means of survival. You
Yes.
know, in a hunter-gatherer scenario, the hunter that goes and forages and finds or kills his own food,
Mm-hmm.
that is his money in that scenario. That's his means of survival. And
Yes.
so if someone else comes along and wants to steal that or take it or compromise that on some level, then they're compromising
Mm-hmm.
his means of survival. And this brings us obviously to the converse of the, I guess the point of private property
Yeah.
um as well.
No, it's so good, and I love how symbolic representation of life force exchange. It's poetic almost, and there's this other thing too, where again we keep coming back to rationality, and money is almost a way in which we extend human rationality into the material domain. And I mean that literally. Like when we talk, what is a price? Again, it's an exchange ratio between goods denominated or expressed in money. So we're actually figuring out what things are worth in terms of other things, but we're speaking a common language of economic numeracy called money. It
Mm-hmm.
lets us rationalize about the world more effectively, right? I don't need to know how many chairs a table costs or how many cars a house costs. Like we just talk in money and we can
Yeah.
communicate very seamlessly about it, and we can trade and we can innovate and we can produce. So to your point,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the root of all good, but it is very foundational to productive effort and civilization. And like you said, when you dilute it, right, we're deviating from truth, we're distorting prices, we're also using that dilution to fund warfare, to fund mainstream media, psyops, like literally destroying life force. So if money is
Yeah.
a symbolic representation for life force exchange, when we dilute it, we actually dilute life force in the real world, right? We bombs get
Yeah.
dropped, you know, production gets stymied. All of these things, we're actually destroying or at least hamstringing the human enterprise.
Yeah. That's right. Well, I mean, if we look at like an objectivist morality and we say that, okay, that which furthers life is good, that which subverts life is evil,
Mm-hmm.
then money is a motivator for the furtherance of life.
Yes.
And I guess that's where my statement kind of came from, in terms of, it can be in some level described as a root of good. It's the reason we produce. It's the reason that we create value.
Yes.
It's because we're interested in our own survival. We're interested in our own prosperity, and so is all of nature.
Yes. Yeah. Fantastically said. And I have to give one more shout out to Atlas Shrugged here,
Yeah,
because that money speech by, I think,
Francisco. Yeah,
Francisco D'Anconia, I think is his
yeah,
name.
yeah,
Holy shit, man. It is so unbelievably good. It's
bro.
the best descriptor of money I've ever heard.
Oh man, I had goosebumps the whole way through that thing.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, click here to find more just like it, and here to find our most recent episode. Also, make sure to like this video to help shine light on the corruption of money, and be sure to subscribe to this channel to stay connected.